Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, so Venerable Sangha, Syales and the other my friends. So today we'll resume our discussion on the corners and small group, the pachas which we are already discussing. And so up until now, we have discussed from the corners and small groups, we know that there were seven pachas in total. So we have discussed 5 of them already. And so today we have to discuss the 6th and the 7th pacha and complete the discussion on the corners and small group. Right. So we'll start with the Sahajāta Kamma, the connaissance Kamma condition. So in this connaissance Kamma condition, we have to understand this Kamma is it has a division, right? It falls into 2 groups really. Can say 3 groups also sometimes. So and here the Kamma condition, it's divided into 2 types, right? The connaissance Kamma condition, which is in Pali, we call it the Sahajāta Kamma Pacha, and the asynchronous Kamma condition, the Nana Khanika Kamma Pacha. So, which the Nana Khanika Kamma Pacha, it is divided into 3 categories, which is powerful asynchronous Kamma condition, and then weak asynchronous Kamma condition, and proximate Kamma condition. So here what we will be discussing is only the first part, which is the connaissance Kamma conditions. The other 3 we'll be discussing later on. Right. So here, from this in terms of the classification of the conditions, the asynchronous Kamma condition, so the proximate Kamma condition, it belongs to the Anantarupanissaya group, and the powerful asynchronous Kamma condition, it falls under the Paccayuppannadhamma group, and the weak asynchronous Kamma condition, it does not belong into any specific category, and it's mentioned independently. So we have to understand that the asynchronous Kamma condition is included in 3 places, and the connaissance Kamma condition is included in the Sahajāta small group. Right. So, so first we'll go through the Paccayuddesa Pali, right? So in the Paccayuddesa Pali, we have this Pali only. So I'll just go through the Pali and the translation, not the analytical states of it. So Paccayuddesa, it comes as Kamma Paccayoti, Kusala Kusalang Kammang, Vipakanang Khandhanang, Katattasa Rupanang, Kamma Paccayena Paccayo. So Kamma Paccayoti, Kamma Paccaya means Kusala Kusalang Kamma, Kusala Akusala Kamma. So the Chetana associated with the Kusala Chitta or Akusala Chitta, they support for the Vipakanang Khandhanang Katattasa Rupanang, which means they support the Vipaka aggregates, the resultant aggregates, and the Kammaja-rupa, which is Patisandhi Kammaja-rupa and Pāvati Kammaja-rupa and Asanya-sata Kammaja-rupa, through the Kamma Paccaya is a condition as a Kamma condition, right? So I'll not go into detail here because we'll be discussing the Kamma Paccaya in detail in the Pañhāvara. So can you, okay, you don't need to share it, right?
Bhante, I just translate based on this.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Right. So now we will go through the Pali, which comes in the Pañhāvara. And
sorry, Bante, will Bante cover the paccayaniddesa for the Sahajāta Kamma? Bante cover only the Nanakanika.
yes. Yes, I forgot this one, right? So so what I went through here is the Nanakanika Kamma, the asynchronous Kamma condition, and here we have the other one, which is the connaissance Kamma condition. Cetana sampayuttakanang dhammanang tan samutthānānaṁ sarūpānaṁ kamma paccayena paccayo. So cetana, the volition, sampayuttakanang dhammanang, for the associated dhammas, and tan samutthānānaṁ sarūpānaṁ, and that produce materiality. Kamma paccayena paccayo is a condition as Sahajāta Kamma condition. Right. Okay. So now we go into the through the Pali in the investigation chapter. So here we know this Kamma Paccaya, it has it's two-folded, which is asynchronous, which is connaissance and asynchronous. So in some of the Visarjana, in some of the answers, when both of these paccayas are present, right? When both of these paccayas are present, then there will be a topic, a heading as Sahajāta Nanakanika. So wherever it's the connaissance Kamma Paccaya, then this topic of Sahajāta will appear. And wherever this is the Nanakanika is there, the asynchronous Kamma is there, then it will be this term will appear. So what we have to really understand here is that it's only there when there is a division. So if in a particular division, if in a particular Visarjana, in a particular answer, if there is no, if it is only have one type, there we will not have this, we will not see this heading. So because we are only discussing the connaissance Kamma condition here, we will only have the Pali which is related, which is applicable for the connaissance Kamma only. So we will not have this, we will not see this topic, but when you look at the Pali, we will see this division. Right, so we'll go through them one by one. So here, so in the first one, in the first answer, the Pali we have Kusalo Dhammo, Kusalasa Dhammasa, Kamma Paccayena Paccayo, Kusala Cetana, Sampayuttakanang, Khandhanang, Kamma Paccayena Paccayo. So the relationship between the wholesome phenomena and the wholesome phenomena is given here. So here we have the wholesome phenomena support to the wholesome phenomena through the force of Kamma condition. Kusala Cetana. So the Kusala Cetana is translated here as the wholesome intentions, or we can say the wholesome volitions support to the associated aggregates through the force of Kamma condition. You can do it like that. Okay, so we move into the second one. Kusalo Dhammo Abhyakatassa Dhammasa Kamma Paccayena Paccayo Kusala Cetana Citta Samutthānānaṁ Rūpānaṁ Kamma Paccayena Paccayo. Wholesome phenomena support to the indeterminate phenomena through the force of Kamma condition, right? So we have to see the relationship between the kusala supporting the indeterminate. And next one, the wholesome intentions support to the mind produced matter through the force of Kamma condition. So here for the wholesome phenomena supporting the indeterminate phenomena, the relationship, it's applicable in the asynchronous Kamma to Kamma Paccaya to. So okay, so this is the one we went through here, right? What we went through really, but I mean we did not have these topics there, but now you see here Kusalo Dhammo Abhyakatassa Dhammasa Kamma Paccayena Paccayo, and then we have these topics Sahajāta Nanakanika. So there is these topics initially, what are the types which are applicable, right? Sahajāta, nāna khanika. And then it starts with Sahajāta, right? This is the one we already translated. So kusala chetana chitta samuttanānaṁ rūpānaṁ kamma paccayana paccaya. So this is the first one, right? So first you state the types here. In the Pali we have these types, and then there are the each of the subtopics, right? Sahajāta, and you have the Pali which is applicable for Sahajāta at the consonants Kamma, and then the next one is Nāna Khanika, this is the other topic, and it has kusala chetana vipākānaṁ khandānaṁ katatthaca rūpānaṁ kamma paccayana paccaya. So this one is applicable really for the asynchronous kamma condition, right? So in this kusalo abhyakatassa, we see these two types. So this is why I mentioned that wherever these two, in wherever the answers where these two types of kamma conditions are there, then we see these topics, right? Topics appearing. Okay, so now we move into the translation of the third answer. So here we have the third one. Kusalo dhammo kusalasya abhyakatasya dhammasa. Oh, there's a typo here, right? It should be dhammasa. Kamma paccayana paccayo kusala chetana sampayuttakaṇaṁ khandānaṁ citta samuttānānaṁ rūpānaṁ citta samuttānānaṁ ca rūpānaṁ kamma paccayana paccayo. So it means the wholesome phenomena support to the wholesome and indeterminate phenomena through the force of kamma conditioning. And the second sentence, the explanatory sentence is the wholesome intentions support to the associated aggregates and mind-produced matter through the force of kamma conditioning. Right. So now we move into the fourth one. Fourth one is akusalo dhammo akusalasya dhammasa kamma paccayana paccayo akusala chetana sampayuttakaṇaṁ khandānaṁ kamma paccayana paccayo. So really as like the previous ones, like the first three, which is there for the wholesome terms, the unwholesome terms are also the same, right? The Pali just changed, the wholesome becomes unwholesome, so that's the difference, right? So I'm not going to go through it. I think it's very straightforward, right? So now we move into the seventh one, which is abhyakato abhyakatassa, the indeterminate, supporting the indeterminate. So here the Pali, it comes as abhyakato dhammo abhyakatassa dhammassa kamma paccayana paccayo vipaka abhyakatani. There are typos here and there, right? Kiriya abhyakatani chetana. Let me check the Pali, I think it's wrong here. Right. So here I corrected the Pali. Right. So here we have the abhyakato dhammo abhyakatassa dhammasa kamma paccayana paccayo. The indeterminate phenomena support the indeterminate phenomena through the force of kamma conditioning. And the next one, vipaka abhyakata kiriya abhyakata chetana sampayuttakaṇaṁ khandānaṁ citta samuttānānaṁ rūpānaṁ kamma paccayana paccayo. So resultant indeterminate factors and functional indeterminate factors support to the associated aggregates and mind-produced matter through the force of kamma conditioning. Okay, so here I had to edit a little bit to correct these errors. So here the resultant indeterminate intentions and the functional indeterminate intentions, right? So they support to the associated aggregates and the mind produce matter through the force of Kamma conditioning. And the next one, Patisandhikkane vipakabhyagata chetana sampayutakanang khandanang katattasa rupanang kamma paccena paccayo. So at the moment of conception, resultant indeterminate intentions support to the associated aggregates and the Kamma produce matter through the force of faculty condition. Oh, it's not faculty condition, it should be Kamma conditioning, right? Just copy it from. Right. And there is this new Pali which comes here, Chetana Vattussa Kamma Paccayena Paccayo. We'll explain this later, which means the volition also supports base, right? Base means the heart base through the force of Kamma conditioning. Right. So, yes. Right. Okay. So, right. So when it comes to the Sahajāta small group table, in the Sahajāta small group table, right? I hope that y'all can recall this thing, the Sahajāta small group table. Right. So here it has becomes Chetana, right? For the Kamma, this Pali called Chetana Vattussa Kamma Paccayena Paccayo. Vattussa, Chetana Vattussa. You see this addition here, right? So somebody asked the question about this last time. Right. So now we go to the single enumeration of the Kamma condition, connaissance Kamma. So the conditioning states, right? So the conditioning states, it's the volition, the Chetana, which is present in the 89 types of consciousness, right? So those are the Dhammas which are present there, right? The volition which are present in 89 type of consciousness. The conditioned state becomes the the associated aggregates, right? We see the associated aggregates, and then we have the mind produced matter, and at the moment of conception, Kamma produced matter, right? Patisandhi Kamma Jarupa, and yes, and 7 enumerations as usual for the Kamma condition. Right. So here we know the conditioning state, the condition is the Chetana, and the condition states, they are very straightforward, which are the associated aggregates, the mind produced matter and the Kamma produced matter. And for I will explain this after the term in the Pali we saw the Chetana Vattussa Kamma Paccayena Paccayo, volition serves as condition for the heart base through the force of Kamma condition. So we'll discuss this after going through the analytical states. Right. So in the Pali, in the single enumerations, in the Pali, there's this term called Kamme Satta, which means Kamme in the Kamma condition, Satta Visarjanani, which means 7 expositions, Honti exists. Right. And what we have to know here is that all the the asynchronous Kamma, the answers regarding the asynchronous Kamma is also included here in the single enumeration section. Right. So now we go through the analytical states. So the analytical states of the Kamma condition is quite easy, very straightforward. The cornerstones Kamma, of course. So for this the subject or the condition state is it's the chetana only, the volition, right? And it supports the associated aggregates, mind produced matter, and the Kamma produced matter. That's all, right? So that's why we have this breakdown. So if you take the kusalasa, the wholesome phenomena supporting the wholesome phenomena, the condition state, it becomes the associated aggregates, which are the 21 wholesome consciousness and the 37 mental factors excluding the volition, right? Because the volition, because the volition does not support, because the volition is the conditioning state, and it does not become the conditioned state because it's the only factor, right? It's the only conditioning state, right? So there are no other conditioning states apart from the volition. So that's why we only have from the 38 mental factors, the volition is removed because of that. Right. So the wholesome condition supporting the wholesome phenomena, supporting the indeterminate phenomena, we have the condition state as mind produced matter, which is straightforward. And when it supports the wholesome and the indeterminate phenomena, we have the associated aggregates and the mind produced matter. Right. And then we move into the unwholesome terms, akusala. So for unwholesome phenomena supporting the unwholesome phenomena, again, it's the associated aggregates from we have the 12 unwholesome consciousness, and from the 27 mental factors which are associated with the unwholesome consciousness, the volition has been excluded here. So it becomes 26 mental factors. And when the term abhyakata, the mind produced matter, the term ending abhyakata, the mind produced matter becomes the conditioned state, and aku, the unwholesome, and the indeterminate term ending, we have the associated aggregates and mind produced matter. Right. So regarding the indeterminate terms, supporting the indeterminate terms, the conditioned state, it becomes the associated aggregates for the 36 vipaka, the resultants, and 20 kriya, the 20 kriya, and the 37 mental factors excluding the volition. And also we have the mind produced matter, and at the moment of conception, Kamma produced matter. Right. Now we come to this question, right? So in the 7th exposition, we saw in the 7th answer, we had this chetana vatusa kamma paccayena paccayo, right? Which means the volition also supports heart base through the force of kamma conditioning. So why it is there? Now we are going to discuss this. Okay. So I have included the reason which comes in the commentaries, the kind of commentaries and the sub-commentaries. So it says, so this means that during the moment of conception, the mental phenomena that depend on the heart base are sustained by it. And the immaterial phenomena, which is the volition, it solely acts as a connaissance kamma condition for the heart base it is associated with, right? Oh, let me check. I think a small error in the translation. So yeah, so it means the immaterial phenomena of volition, it supports as a constant condition for the heart base it is associated with. So the Chetana Vatusa is given like that. So it means that so when there is the conception taking place, uh, the mental phenomena, it is dependent on the heart base, which are arise, which arise, right? So it becomes the nisaya, right? It becomes the dependent state, dependent dhamma for the heart base, and the immaterial phenomena of volition, it supports to the connaissance Kamma condition for the heart base, which is associated with it, right? So this is what is explained in the commentaries and the sub-commentaries. Right. So now we'll go through this document. I did not share this document with you because when we were when we were preparing for the class, Brother JJ, he asked me many questions regarding this statement, and so I compiled this document. I'll share you this after the class. So what we have really is the Pali, Chetana Vatusa Kamma Paccayana Paccaya, the Pali which already translated, and I included the translation from the commentary, the sub-commentary and the sub-commentary. Yeah, in the Pali, for the Abhidhamma, we have for the commentary we have a sub-commentary, and there is another level of commentary, like we call it sub-commentary or anutika. So it basically discussed about the same thing. It tells about the Chetana, the volition supporting the heart base through the Kamma Paccaya. Right. So because there was this discussion on regarding this this thing, I came up with a particular answer which may not be the final answer, but based on what I have learned here, I compiled the answer here. So now what we see in the commentaries and the sub-commentaries, what it really explains is that the volition supporting the heart base, right? And supporting the heart base, the paccayadhamma, it's supporting the it's supporting the heart base. And because of that, this Pali of Chetana Vatusa is coming here, right? That's why the Buddha has expounded it. So but when we look at the other small connaissance condition, now say for example, if we take the hetu paccaya, the root condition, so even in the root condition, the three roots, right? The three or two roots at the point of conception, at the moment of conception, they also become dependent on the heart base, and they support the heart base through the root condition, right? And it is same as if you look it, if you look it on the surface, it will be same as the Chetana, and the Chetana supporting the heart base. You won't see any difference. It's the same logic applicable. So why the commentaries are kind of highlighting and emphasizing on the point that on the Sahajāta Kamma Paccaya here, right? So that's what I really discuss in my answer, right? So okay, so I will draw this here. I'll illustrate it using this graph, right? So we can put it here like have the past life and the new life, right? So in the new life, so okay, I draw this. This is the heart base. This is the heart base, and and these are the mental aggregates, right? These are the mental aggregates, and I'll indicate the volition here, right? So which is one of the mental aggregates. We have the volition here. Have the volition here, right? I think it's quite clear. Right. So so this heart base, right? So this heart base, we know this is this heart base. It falls. This heart base, it is a resultant of asynchronous kamma paccaya, right? Because we a being get a new heart base or any type of karma born material because of a past karma, right? So the past karma here, we say it can be in any of the past lives, can get the chetana here, right? Okay, I write it in the Pali English term. We get the volition here, right? So the volition from the previous life. Right? So this is the volition from the previous life. So it supports, because of that, because of this volition from the previous life, you get a new heart base, right? New set of karma produced material. And then here we have this volition which comes from the asynchronous, which comes from the connaissance karma paccaya, and it supports here too, right? It comes from here too. So this one, the previous life, this is the asynchronous karma paccaya, right? The asynchronous karma paccaya, and here this is the connaissance, right? The connaissance karma paccaya. So we see when we consider the heart base, this heart base, it is supported by two types of volitions, right? Two types of chetana, right? So this is the first thing that you need to understand here, right? So okay, so this is the dispersion, the answer for the Kamma paccaya, for the wholesome Dhamma supporting the indeterminate. So Kusalo Abhyakata. So we see the Sahajāta Kamma, Sahajāta given here. Kusala Chetana, Chitta Samutthānānaṁ Rūpānaṁ Kamma paccayena paccayo. It's given here. And then we have the Nanakkanika one. We did not discuss it yet. We'll be discussing this in detail later on. But what we can very easily understand here, in the Nanakkanika, in the asynchronous Kamma paccaya, we have the Kusala Chetana, the wholesome volition, supporting the Vipākānaṁ Khandānaṁ, which means the resultant aggregates, and Katattaca Rūpānaṁ, the karma born material, through the Kamma paccayena paccayo, through the karma paccaya, force of karma conditioning. So this is what is given here, right, in Pali. So I mean what we see here, right? Here it's this Nanakkanika Kamma. So yes, please explain. Right. So if you take the if you take the condition state as the heart base, right, which is the base, the dependent Dhamma of the mental aggregates, we see there are two types of volitions, right, from past life and from the present life. So when this when we have the, when you see the Pali as Chetana Vatusa Kamma paccayena paccayo, when you look at the conditioning state from the heart base, when this is highlighted, right, when I mean, it's easy to understand the volition from a past life resulting giving a rise to the Kamma produced matter, like the hard base. But for here, if the connaissance Kamma, so the but for the connaissance Kamma, it needs to be added here to understand this relationship quite clearly, because in the Pali itself, it states about the Nanakanika Kamma, the kusala, the wholesome phenomena, the wholesome volition supporting the resultant aggregates, and the Kamma born materiality. So to highlight this Sahajāta Kamma, the connaissance Kamma condition, it is included here. So this is what this is my personal opinion, right? Not which is 100% directly there in the commentaries and the sub commentaries. Okay, so do we have any questions regarding this? Okay, we can discuss later. Yeah, right. So we move into the 7th Paccaya, which is the last one from the connaissance small group, right? Which is the connaissance predominance condition, Sahajāta Adhipati Paccaya. So in the predominance condition, it's two-folded, right? Aramanadhipati, the object predominance, and Sahajāta-adhipati, connaissance predominance condition. So it's two-folded. So what we'll be discussing here, it's the connaissance predominance condition. So the object predominance conditions will be used, we'll be discussing in another group. Right, so we'll go through the paccayuddesa Pali. So there are four types of Adhipati, two types, basically two types, and for the Sahajāta Adhipati there are four types of predominance, right? So the Pali, it comes as Adhipati Paccayoti, Chandhādhipati, Chanda Sampayuttakanang Dhammanang, Tang Samutthānānaṁ Sarūpānaṁ, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo. So Adhipati Paccayo means predominant condition, means that Chandhādhipati, Chanda predominant, Chanda Sampayuttakanang Dhammanang, Tang Samutthānānaṁ Sarūpānaṁ, for the Chanda associated Dhamma and that course materiality, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo is condition, supports as predominant condition. Right. Then we have the second Adhipati. So it's Viriyadhipati, Viriya Sampayuttakanang Dhammanang, Tan Samutthānānaṁ Sarūpānaṁ, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo. The Viriya predominant, it comes here. So we'll discuss the analytical states in the Pañhāvara. We just go through the Pali here. Then we have the Chittādhipati, Chitta Sampayuttakanang Dhammanang, Tan Samutthānānaṁ Sarūpānaṁ, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo. The Chitta predominant, it comes here. Right. And the fourth type is for the connaissance predominance is Vīmansādhipati, Vīmansa Sampayuttakanang Dhammanang, Tan Samutthānānaṁ Sarūpānaṁ, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo. Comes as investigation predominant. It's the Vīmansādhipati. Right. So now we go to the Pali here. So here also for the connaissance condition, the connaissance predominance conditions, there are 7 dispersions, 7 answers. So the first one is Kusalo Dhammo, Kusalasa Dhammasa, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo, Kusaladhipati. Okay, let me do it in the other book. Right. Kusaladhipati Sampayuttakanang Khandhanang, Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo. wholesome phenomena support to the wholesome phenomena through the force of predominance conditioning. The wholesome predominance support the associated aggregates through the force of predominance conditioning. Right. Next one is kusalo dhammo abhyakatassa dhammassa adhipati paccayena paccayo kusaladhipati chitta samuttananang samuttanang rupanang adhipati paccayena paccayo. The wholesome phenomena support to the indeterminate phenomena through the force of predominance conditioning. The wholesome predominance support to the mind-produced matter through the force of predominance conditioning. Right. The third one is kusalo dhammo kusalasya cha abhyakatasya cha dhammassa adhipati paccayena paccayo kusaladhipati sampayuttakanang khandhanang chitta samuttanang cha rupanang adhipati paccayena paccayo. Yeah, wholesome phenomena support to the wholesome and indeterminate phenomena through the force of predominance conditioning. The wholesome predominance support to the associated aggregates and the mind-produced matter through the force of predominance conditioning. Right, so the three unwholesome terms, right, they are same. The only difference is because the wholesome becoming unwholesome. Right. So in the seventh one, it comes as abhyakato dhammo abhyakatasya dhammassa adhipati paccayena paccayo vipakabhyakatani kiryabhyakatani. Oh, okay. There's an error here too. Vipakabhyakata kiryabhyakata adhipati chetana sampayuttakanang khandhanang chitta samuttananang charupanang adhipati paccayena paccayo.
But there's no Chetana.
Sure, right, yeah. I think it's wrong here. Yeah, Charupanang Adhipati Paccayena Paccayo, which means indeterminate phenomena support to the indeterminate phenomena through the force of predominance conditioning. Resultant indeterminate predominance and functional indeterminate phenomena predominance support to the associated aggregates and mind-produced matter through the force of predominance conditioning. Right, so that's the translation. And what we have to know here is that this is not applicable. The Adhipati Paccaya, the predominance, is not applicable at the point of conception. At the moment of conception, it's not there. So that's the difference here, right? Because the mind is very weak, it's not very strong at the point of conception. So the Adhipati does not appear.
Only the Chetana should not be there, right? The Vipaka, Vyakata, Kirya,
Yes, yes.
Vyakata, Adhipati.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So moving into the single enumerations. So we know the conditioning state, it's given here as one of the four dominant dhammas, Adhipati, or one of the three dominant dhammas, Adhipati. We'll discuss this thing later, right? We'll go through directly to the conditioning state. So the four predominant mental qualities are Chandadhipati, which is the desire predominance, Chittadhipati, it's the consciousness predominance, Viryadhipati is the effort predominance, and Vimansadhipati, it's the investigation predominance. So these conditions, these mental qualities, they serve as the conditioning phenomena here. And the Chanda mental factor, now we have to know where each of these mental these dhammas appear, right? So Chandadhipati, the Chanda mental factor, it applies in 69 types of consciousness excluding 18 rootless consciousness and two consciousnesses rooted in delusion, right? So it's not there. And this Chittadhipati, the consciousness, it refers to all 89 type of consciousness in terms of Dhamma, but the Chittadhipati, it's applicable in a different set of consciousness. The Virya mental factor is applicable in 73 types of consciousness, and the Vimamsa Adhipati, which is the wisdom mental factor, it applies in 47 types of consciousness associated with knowledge. So, however, these dhammas, right, say for the chanda, it's applicable in 69 consciousness, and the consciousness, it's in all 89 types of consciousness, and virya, which appears in 73 types of vimamsa, which is there in 47 types of consciousness. Even though it's there, this predominant condition is only applicable, it's only found in 52 impulsive consciousness, in the Javana Chittas, right, which are either 2-rooted or 3-rooted, right? So it's only there in these Javana Chittas, the 52 of them, right? So the other 3 is not there. Okay, so here one more thing regarding the enumerations. So it's 7 enumerations which are applicable for the connaissance predominance, but in the predominance conditions, there are 10 in total, which the additional 3 comes from the object predominance, right? So that's why there are 10 in total for the predominance condition, right? In the Pali, it comes as Adhipati01, right? Means 10 predominant, 10, I think it would be 10 dispersions. So we'll stop the class here, right? We'll discuss the rest next week. Yes, so if you have questions, we can discuss now.
Bhante, is it okay if Bhante kindly show the chart of the heart base with the volition from the past life and the volition from the present life again? The question is regarding that chart. Yes. So Bhante, the question is that in this chart, Bhante has shown that there's volition from the past life conditioning the heart base at the rebirth linking moment, at the conception moment of the new life, and also there is another volition at the same conception moment, which is also conditioning the heart base, and both of these Bhante has indicated in red color. So the sister who asked the question would like to know, is this two volition the same volition? That means the same volition from the past life is also the same volition in the present life. So it's a one same volition conditioning the heart base in two different moments, or are they actually two separate volition?
Yes, it's a very good question. It's because of the volition in this life, in the past life, it conditioning the heart base. It's very straightforward. And also this volition from the past life, this one from the past life, it gives a rise to the volitions here, right, in the new life, right? So this volition is different. This volition is giving a rise to this volition and also to the heart base, right? So the paccaya is from when this past volition supporting the heart base, it is from the asynchronous kamma. And when this past volition, when it supports the mental aggregates here, it's again from the asynchronous kamma condition. So whatever the volition or whatever the mental aggregates which arise here as a result of a past kamma, it supports the heart base too. So there are two types of Kamma Paccaya which are present, which are evident here, which are present here.
Understand. Thank you, Bante. It's very, very, very good lecture. I appreciate.
And there's another question in Chinese in the chat box. Would like to ask Bante. There are 70. The question, Bante, it says there are 73 types of Viryadipati. Should we remove Manodwara Vajana and Hasitupada?
Yes, yes. We'll be removing all this, all these. We'll discuss that next week, right? Yes, it should be removed. It's only applicable, the Viryadipati. It comes in only in the 52 Javana consciousness. Yeah.
And there's another question.
Yes.
And they say this question no need to answer.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do we have any more? Okay, seems no questions, right? Okay, so in that case, we'll share merits. Right. So we'll share the merits which we accumulated by learning, reflecting, and teaching this Supreme Dhamma. So by this Kusala, from this Kusala, we share with all the deities, the deceased beings, and all the beings in this world and in the other worlds. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasattha ca bhummattha devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mang parang. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena māme bāla samāgamo sataṁ samāgamo hotu yāva nibbāna pattiyā. Yang pattang kusalang tassa anubhavena panino sabbe saddhamma rajassa ñatva dhammang sukhavahang papunantu papunantu visuddhaya sukhaya patipattiya asoka manupayasang nibbana sukhamuttamang chirang titthatu saddhammo dhamme hontu sagarava sabbepi satta kalena sammadevo pavassatu yatharakkinsu purana Surajanu tatevimang raja rakkatu dhammena attanova pajang imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya dhammang pujemi Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya සංඝං පූජේමි අද්ධායිමාය පටිපත්තියා ජාති ජරා ව්‍යාධි මරණම් හා පරිමුච්චිස්සාමි ඉදං මේ පුඤ්ඤං ආසවක්ඛයා වහං හෝතු ඉදම් මේ පුඤ්ඤං නිබ්බානස්ස පච්චයෝ හෝතු මම පුඤ්ඤ භාගං සබ්බ සත්තානං භාජේමි තේ සම්බේ මේ සමං පුඤ්ඤ භාගං ලබන්තු බුද්ධ ශාසනං චිරං තිට්ඨතු බුද්ධ ශාසනං චිරං තිට්ඨතු බුද්ධ ශාසනං චිරං තිට්ඨතු සාධු සාධු සාධු.
Thank you very much, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
සාධු සුඛී
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.